So today on Project Shop, we are finally going to go through all these drums with all this random scrap. We got Oliver over here. We're going to gain some brass, some aluminum, and copper today, hopefully. We got some motors we just pulled, a little bit of copper we found. We'll do these later. We're just going to push them to the back. This here, this is interesting. This is from the power company. And you know what's crazy? Look at that little bit of aluminum. This is what comes in from FP&L to like your transformer. Thousands of volts goes through this. And I think this thing has like a tungsten rod right here or something. I don't know, I gotta take that apart, but today, hopefully, we're gonna be able to get through a bunch of these bins. I really got to get this stuff sorted out, but today, we're really just gonna focus on these pallets right here. And then this pallet here and this one. I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, but we're going to try really hard. And then it's got stuff everywhere. I was using that for aluminum. I cleared the trailer, basically sorted all the scraps. I was going to try to micro scrap this stuff here I got from Michael Jordan's house, but it's just way too tedious. So I just pushed all that forward. Now I have a separation where I can dump all my heavy steel back here and all my shred up there. I'll have them pull it's working out really well having them mag out the heavy steel and then just dump the shred. I really like that operation, and that I don't have to, even though I wanted to put a barrier in here, that's not necessary. Plus it'd be kind of sketchy dumping this thing with all that weight up there and it not sliding out. So we're just going to go with the mag setup for now. I pulled out all this stuff here we have to go through. So I'm going to bring this drum in, and Oliver's just going to tear into this stuff. We have, this is cool. I got this from the Florida Panthers. I didn't know what it was at first, but I think it's some type of, just like a little decorative table or something made out of real stainless steel. It's actually quite heavy. I might actually keep it just because it's cool. Like I was saying, I might keep a piece of scrap from Jordan's house. I think I'm going to keep that because that came from the Stanley Cup champions. They actually won the Stanley Cup, or I think they did. I don't watch hockey, but I do get scrap from the Florida Panthers, and that was some of it. What did I do with the rest of the scrap from them? Oh, I had some wire from them. That big wire I stripped the other day, them big AT&T ground cables, that came from the Florida Panthers. Which I have to find out where that stuff went. I think it's right here, actually. Yeah, this big old cable here and these nuggets, Florida Panthers. So anyway, we're gonna get set up on just processing a bunch of micro scrap, I guess. I really need to get these drums sorted out and out of here. I'm gonna pull the jaw out. We're gonna definitely be using that. That might just be a thing where you cut the end off, Oliver. All right, I got the jaw out here, and we brought in some, we actually got rid of a pallet already, and we brought in some barrels we need to kind of sort. Oliver, this is extrusion, man. That's got wire in it. Oh, thought you were packing that in there.
Oh, taking it
Okay. Okay. I'll leave that just like that. Where's the cast? This looks nice here, man. I'm gonna have to pop these. Wow, that's crazy. That light facing down also has LED strips on the top facing up. That's the first time I've seen something like that. And that looks like a big piece of extrusion, so I'm gonna kind of clean that up a little bit. I'm gonna work on cleaning this little area up. I gotta go find another bin. We got our extrusions. All that can go in here, Oliver. Let me see that. That's clean, ready to go. That's all extrusions. Go right here. And then this looks all pretty much. Throw that right in there. Throw those right in there. All this stuff looks pretty clean. Man. I love sorting clean scrap. No processing, just sorting. I wish it was all that easy. So now, oh, I had a bunch of these I wanted to cut up with the jaw. Got some chunks of brass. Let's fire this thing up. See what we got. Oh, I might be able to unscrew this. The hydraulic oil is cold. Thing might be low on fluid too. I gotta check. She's running really slow. That was easy enough. Big old chunk of brass. We gotta up our pump game. I'm sure that pump is probably filthy. A guy did message me about another pump, but it's like another 10,000 psi pump, and I really need some higher flow pumps. Nice chunk of brass. Moved on to aluminum. Just like everything else, they're constantly trying to make things cheaper and not last as long. That's definitely not as satisfying as pulling that brass. Cast. No, that's extrusion. That's cast. Nice chunk of brass. I think that's actually plastic, dude. I don't know about the silver stuff, but I'm pretty sure this is plastic. I can't really tell if this is extrusion or cast. fell apart. So that is an extrusion. Looks like these are glued in or something. But it looks like aluminum, so I might just let it slide. Or I have to get them screws out of there. This piece looks like, yeah. That's steel. Couple wires. Wow, this was like an indirect lighting setup. Probably a really nice light. I think that's aluminum. Yep. Either really low on fluid or it's just cold. I don't know. It's probably a combination of both. Started putting copper in the bucket, and then I found this assembled in Mexico. This is a newer Silver Springs network. This is a digital meter, and it looks as cheap as can be, but these are copper. So we're going to open this up, see what's inside. Now I'm really interested in this because I've heard that these things could possibly be a way of spying on you. And when you plug them in, they have Wi-Fi or something, or they emit a frequency that can basically map out your house. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just a conspiracy that I've heard. But I'm really interested to see what's inside of here. So, and recover them copper nuggets. See if we can't bust this thing open. Ah. Aha. They have a safety tab. Now, don't ask me how I know this. With them old school tags, and they probably still use them, that you would see on the meters that are supposedly unpickable. Yeah, I can pick them, no problem. Okay. Wow. Not really sure what I'm looking at here. But those are like copper screws. That's almost like a little fuse. I'm going to try to get this apart as gently as possible. Ah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Where's the last time you used it? You were the last one to use it. Blue boards. It looks like a lot of gold in there. And I know that there, a lot of things that have communication have that little antenna thingy. So yeah, maybe that is transmitting something. More gold fingers. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Man, years ago, I had brand new in the box 4 brand new old style with the big globe meters. You know, the analog ones where they would come and actually read it. Now, if you had those back in the day, after your guy came and read the meter, you could just pull the meter out, plug yours in, let it run for half a month, and then plug their meter back in. Probably a low-grade board. Got some chips on it. A little bit of copper. These ones look a little more goldish. So we'll throw that with the, look at that gold there, man. All up underneath this thing here is gold. Okay. Getting closer to the copper. to number 3. These are freaking brass screws. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to go to plan B. That's interesting looking. Gold fingers up in there. Okay, there's just some nice little nuggets of copper, but that's pretty much it. The rest of this thing was just a bunch of nothing really. You know, I really, man, you know how many things I take apart that have brass inserts? I really need to get a shredder and a hammer mill going. I have one big thing I have to do coming up soon. And then I think it's going to clear the way so that I can get back on some really serious projects. It's going to be a lot of work up front, but we're going to be able to have some fun, man. We're gonna get all the projects knocked off the list. But for now, we're gonna be here micro scrapping. We're doing pretty good, man. We went through a couple drums already, cleaned them out, and this one's almost clean. And then we're about ready for that big bin. So we might have to take a break and do something else for a minute, and then come back to the bin. Or we might just keep scrapping, I don't know. I think we're just gonna keep scrapping. So we got to get some more copper, and we got to find some copper. I don't know what I have around here that has a lot of copper. The electric motors, the ballast. I have a whole big bin of ballast over there, and those transformers. What you got, man? Oh, thanks. Hercules. 2 times longer life. Okay. I got a nice weave on that. All right, we're gonna hit the time lapse again because I need to listen to some motivational music, and I think I'm gonna go bring in that bin. I gotta kind of clear some of this stuff out. Bring in the bin. I think I'm gonna bring in that pallet of AC stuff and let Oliver work on that, and then I'll bring in the bin and I'll start going through the bin. Because there's a lot of stuff in there that needs the jaw. Like, you know, this, look at that. Look at them big nuggets right there, man. Someone was saying there might be silver in there. Or maybe I misheard, I don't know. Alright, so that's going to be it for today. I actually have to wrap this up. I got something else I got to do. But we did process at least 3 of the pallets I wanted to go to, I think. This one, the drums. Well, we might have did 4 pallets. And then I started to get into this bin. Man, this is some tedious stuff here. Serious micro scrapping. Some of this stuff is kind of ready to go, but I ain't got time to deal with it now. At this point, I need to actually clean the bench off. I need to use it for something. But we did pretty good today. We filled an entire thing up with cast. Got some extrusions. Got a little bit more brass. A pile of copper. More copper. A little bit more aluminum. Got some brass, more brass in the bucket. And then we finally cleaned up all these AC coils so I can take them to Miami. When you're doing stuff like this, like tedious micro scrapping or just multiple different things in scrap and so many different things that you need to know when you're scrapping. And the main thing is, like, especially doing stuff like what we're doing right here, is how far to go on certain things, you know, and how to determine the different types of aluminum, you know, and how far to go with different types. Now, like I said, extrusion is the only aluminum that I have to go all the way, you know, and clean it like 100%. I mean, they do not like dirty extrusions, you know. Cast and sheet, you know, I mean, old sheet, I think you're allowed up to 6%. Cast, 6%. That's what I was told originally. Then the one dude at the scrapyard tried to dial it back to 3%, but I think he was just trying to tell me that because he knows I'm going to push that 6% limit. Oliver was taking apart something like this, and he just, you know, he didn't know. He thinks you got to take it apart and clean it. And I'm like, I would have left a bunch of screws in there and just sent it. Like I said, I look at it as the whole load. Yes, I do try to clean things for the most part, you know, but if I have 500 pounds of aluminum and I have like one thing that's just got some big gnarly screws in it, or even a little bracket, throwing it in there with the load, you're going to be within your 3 or 6%. So like I said, I do try and clean the stuff to where it's presentable, you know, but I have no problem leaving bits of steel on some stuff, even if it's a little more on one particular piece. Like I said, I look at the whole load. You know, if my whole load is within 3%. So if you think about it, for every 100 pounds, you should be able to have 3 to 6 pounds of iron. You know, on 1,000 pounds, 60 pounds of iron. I'm not sweating it. And I've never, of all the gnarly nuts and bolts I've left in things, I've never had them say anything to me about the aluminum. Because when they send it off, they send an entire tractor trailer load of aluminum, which, God, who knows, just say it's 50,000 pounds. You know, you're allowed a decent amount of iron in there. And the reason they allow that is because when they melt it down, they literally are adding iron to the stuff when they do it. Or at least that's what the guy told me. I don't know. I'm not a smelter. So anyway, if you come this far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned because we still have tons of micro scrapping to do. Got bins and barrels to go through, but we're getting there, man. I'm trying to get all the scrap out of here, dude. I'm really like, I'm not pushing none of my customers. I'm waiting for them to call me, and I am just scrapping in the shop, you know? I'm trying to get this place cleaned out, get a little bit more room, a better flow in here, you know, because everything is just crammed up in here and jumbled up, and it's really frustrating and kind of like, it's just hard to work, man, you know? I got tools everywhere, scrap everywhere, projects everywhere. Everything is just everywhere. So we got to kind of dial it in and start sorting the shelves, sorting this stuff. I know I keep saying that, but it's actually time because, yeah, we're going to have to really go through stuff and see what we're going to keep and what's going to go. Because this just, this just ain't working at the moment. But we got some really cool things coming, and I'm really excited about my oil processor. And oh, you're actually going to see this on a live stream. So by the time you see this video, you'll already see the centrifuge. I'm going to paint this thing, so you'll already see that by the time you see this video, probably, if you watch my live streams. So if you don't, stop by sometime on a live stream, because I don't do them that often, but when I do, I try to answer everybody's question, and that's a place to actually pin me down and get some answers out of me if you got questions. I know I haven't been answering all the questions on the videos because it's so much. Like, I get so many comments, and it's not just on the current videos. I have tons of old videos every day. There's literally hundreds of comments, and I physically just don't have the time to go through them all. I did go through the other day, answer a bunch of, I sat down for like 20 minutes and answered a bunch of comments, and I'm going to start answering comments on the first couple hours of every video, I think, you know, when I can. I'm going to have to start making the time to do that, because I feel really bad about just not answering them at all. But the past couple weeks, I've been extremely busy. And I'm going to be so busy next month. It's going to be insane. I mean, I don't even know how I'm going to get through it. But when I come out the other side, I can only tell you that things are going to be way different, and it's going to be amazing. So definitely stay tuned for all that, because we are definitely ramping it up over here at Project Shop. That centrifuge and making my own diesel fuel, that's just the start. We're going to be pretty soon here. We are going to be dialed on a whole nother level. So I want to just thank you all who've been here for the ride so far and been with me since the beginning. I'd really like to know who watched me at my first shop when I first started YouTube, and then came with me to my house where I worked under the carport, and then everybody that's been here at this shop. You know, all you guys, I really appreciate it, you know. And then the original people, I'm always fascinated about the first year, Like, who was there my first 1,000, you know, before I got monetized, who was actually watching me while I was fumbling through the videos and, you know, learning my way through YouTube and all that stuff. I really do appreciate I appreciate all you guys that watch. I can't thank you guys enough. And I can just promise you this, the content is going to get better. I have my editor is just cranking out the videos for me. I don't even have to really do anything with the videos other than shoot them at this point. So give them a shout out and a thank you. Yeah, so stay tuned, because I got some cool things coming. Really, really cool things. And we're definitely going to be doing some really cool projects. And pretty soon, I'm probably going to have a little bit more time to, like, not only fix the wire stripper, but actually, for those who've been around for a while, I have some big aluminum plates up there. I've been wanting to modify that one and build my own. I'm gonna build my version of what that is. That's gonna be a couple months down the road, but we're gonna be able to get on projects like that and do all kinds of cool stuff. So you guys stay tuned, and thank you for watching. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?